Good morning, Zola Executive Committee. My name is Gloria Bedanjak, and I'm pleased to join you today, along with my colleagues from 612 Consulting Group, who I'll be introducing momentarily. We're here today to conclude our strategic analysis of the Zola organization. As we begin this session, I wanted to discuss today's agenda. We'll start off with a brief introduction to the 612 Consulting team. From there, we'll provide an assessment of our comprehension of Zola's dilemma, dive into our recommended strategy for adoption, walk you through the execution of that strategy, and wrap up with our conclusion on your firm's path forward. Before we jump into the details surrounding your team, let's briefly introduce you to ours. Rashid Ali is our Chief Strategist, specializing in strategy formation. Ashley Armstrong is our Project Strategist, focusing on firm dilemmas and hurdles. John Dugan is our Strategic Execution Expert, specializing in how to execute. And I'm Gloria Bedanjak, our Sales Strategist, specializing in client relationships and growth.
With our consulting team in place, we've assessed your firm's dilemma. Zola is at a pivotal point in its growth trajectory with several growth obstacles. The first hurdle surrounds your three strategic growth paths, each of which holds pros and cons. The first path is all things registry, Zola Baby Registry. This option entails pros such as U.S. consumer spend of approximately $6 billion, a natural fit into the current business model, and an existing customer base who could utilize this with their progression into parenthood, providing an easy increase in customer lifetime value, or CLV. Cons entail smaller revenue opportunities, more time sensitivity with logistics and targeting of the date of the baby shower, and the inability to drop ship or gift wrap. Your second path is all things home, Zola Home Store. Pros of this approach include a current home goods market of $104 billion, existing customers who utilize the platform to purchase for their long home after their registries are fulfilled, and a significant CLV growth opportunity. Cons include economies of scale due to fundamental differences in home goods consumers, employing comparison, shopping tools for optimization, while registry etiquette dictates customers make a purchase from the registrant's registry, as well as establishment of a brick-and-mortar presence to accommodate consumers that want to touch and see purchases in person. The last path is all things wedding, Zola Wedding. Pros of this approach include expanding within your existing $70 billion wedding industry, optimizing your expertise in design by offering a free wedding website service, which would convert into revenue via the Zola registry and brand recognition. The con is potential damage to relationships with market partners, such as the Knot and Appy couple, who feed your customer pipeline via paid advertisements on their websites. The next of your growth hurdles is the expansion of your management team. In order to successfully grow the Zola brand, expansion of your leadership and board teams is imperative. The roles fulfilled at these levels can mean the difference between growth and decline for your firm. Expansion of these governance bodies will require cohesiveness for successful implementation. This will be discussed more throughout our presentation. The last growth hurdle is the capital funding you need to scale Zola. With tenfold growth from year 1 to year 2, potential investors will be inclined to use your growth plan as their deciding factor in participation. How this funding is secured is pivotal to your next growth stage, and will also be discussed more throughout our presentation. Once these decisions are finalized, timing of implementation will be of utmost importance, as it is imperative that any growth pursuit not drive focus away from the core business model, but rather enhance and complement in order to truly scale.
With the assessment of your dilemma in mind, our 612 Consulting Group's recommended strategy follows. First, as it pertains to the 2016 Strategic Growth Path hurdle, we advise to develop along with the projected potential of the wedding registry industry, but to cautiously monitor the all things registry and all things home options for possible product line expansions at a future point. As such, you should continue with your corporate-level growth-intensive strategy, though exhaust the product development and market penetration aspects of the wedding registry industry. Additionally, you should concentrate on a focused differentiation business-level strategy that addresses your segment and differentiates you through technology and innovation. For example, Through robust use of social media and mobile communications technology, you may be able to replace the benefits of a retail presence through buying via a localized but digitally based experience. This provides potential to improve not only the customer experience and brand familiarity, but the market data that will advance your future strategic directions. Second, as it pertains to the expansion of your management team hurdle, we advise to increase the size of your management team and board of directors. Additional leaders must be brought on board the management team to not only maintain heterogeneity within the group, but to partner closely with Ma and Simon so that your firm can clearly map its growth, organizational, and operational needs, which are necessary for Zola to lead the wedding category and associated social media and mobile space. For example, bringing on board an HR executive will assist Ma with alignment of the 3 R's: relationships, roles, and rewards. In addition to the management team, we also recommend you recruit 1 to 2 more board directors. These individuals' leadership and expertise should propel Zola and position it for possible product line extensions in the years to come. Third, the growth path we've discussed will entail the need to overcome the funding hurdle. At the current success stage of your company, it's evident you have an established user base and business model that is working. This in consideration, a Series B round of investments via venture capitalists should be pursued since at this funding stage, firms are all about scaling. Precisely your position. We believe that when measuring these hurdles against the 3 C's of successful business planning, compelling ideas, competent management, and cash flow, the strategy outlined today will provide exponential growth possibilities, including a lucrative exit through acquisition by a competitive firm such as The Knot or Wedding Wire.
Hello. To formalize the execution of this strategy, we suggest a simple draw, see, think, plan approach. You've already identified your exit plan as being acquired by one of the market leaders, The Knot or the Wedding Wire. This will require you to have a diversified customer base, not just couples planning their weddings, but all things around couples planning to be married, and then through the first several years of marriage that include making a home and planning a family. You've also identified several growth opportunities with the potential to expand into new categories, such as all things registry, all things home, and all things weddings. You've indicated that this team, while high performing, needs to be augmented with a new focus and new ideas. To be successful, you will need to secure an additional investment funding of $8 to $10 million. Some of the next steps to implement this would be, we recommend that you hire a president to oversee day-to-day operations and that you enhance your systems and tools to be able to achieve the growth in the new and repeat customers, as well as to form tighter partnerships with many of the leading merchandisers. And finally, you need to properly execute this strategy. You will need to seamlessly combine hiring the right people, strengthening your systems, and obtain the capital to facilitate growth. To expand a little bit more on the action steps, let's start with the funding of these investments. You will need to raise $8 to $10 million. We suggest that you develop a roadshow, with our help, of course, to present to potential investors with the expectation that you will find the right company or companies with the right experience to complement this team. Next will be hiring the right people. A human resources executive is needed to not only put proper hiring and culture practices in place, but to also make sure that the right people are being found and hired. We suggest that you secure a president. With the diversity and individual strengths of this team, the president should be from outside the organization, but not necessarily outside your collective networks. The president will need to be someone that everyone trusts, but also someone with a strong e-commerce and business scaling background that also has experience in leading innovation and growth. The board should be expanded to include this president as well as one other position that is appointed by the venture capital team. The next step would be to develop sophisticated marketing systems that will allow you to more accurately identify the demographics of your customers and to define the path forward with all new products. Finally, as part of the planning actions, it's crucial that you continue to follow through on all these steps. You will need to continually track performance against all your key business measures. Thank you.
In conclusion, the 612 Consulting Group has identified that your organization is poised for success. Through adherence of strategic elements like your growth-intensive corporate-level strategy, a focused differentiation business-level strategic growth path, continued heterogeneity within the management team and expanded board, a successful Series B venture capitalist round of investment, and your positioning for an exit through acquisition, we firmly believe you can take Zola to the next level. On behalf of the 612 Consulting Group, we thank you for choosing us to conduct this analysis and for your time today.